So for those who are watching my videos for the first time, I just want to clarify here. If you came to this video expecting a fundamental breakdown of Blackberry, Nokia, and AMC, you're not going to get it in this video. Okay, that's not my strategy. Some people do use fundamental analysis as their strategy, and that's fine. But I realize what works for me the most is technical analysis. That's what my channel is. That's what it's all about here. I used to do videos more so on fundamental analysis. But man, as I keep going with this YouTube channel and as I keep learning more and more, I've realized that that's not really my thing. And I feel like it's just confused me further. For example, I made a video on Jumia some months ago. And this was when my channel was really new. And honestly, I still do make mistakes sometimes when I say stuff. Like the other day, I called something a wedge, but someone else said it was a bull flag. Maybe it was, I don't know. But in that video I did months ago on Jumia, I said Jumia was probably not a good investment because I was looking into all the fundamentals and stuff that really I thought made sense to me, but actually didn't. And now Jumia is at 54. And if I just analyzed the chart instead of focusing on fundamentals, I would have held my position that I originally had in Jumia at $9 instead of selling it. Fundamentally, I don't think Jumia is anything spectacular, but it doesn't matter because there's momentum in Jumia. And if you analyze the chart, you can see this and find the time when to buy would be. I trade price action because price action filters all the noise. If you focus on fundamentals, it's going to confuse you. Stumbled across this article, why you should trade price action instead of news. Price action filters all market data and provides a clear picture of what is happening with a market. If you try analyzing all the fundamental variables that can influence a market each day, you will drive yourself crazy. It's true. If you focus on the chart, you can make the stock make money for you. Just my opinion. Okay, I have some notes written down here before we get into it. This video is going to be focused on Blackberry, Nokia, and AMC, and why I think WallStreetBets are going to target these stocks next. If you guys don't know, they targeted Gamestop. If we pull up the chart right here, Gamestop, absurd breakout, absurd short squeeze. And actually, if you throw some lines on the chart, it makes sense. Because if you connect these highs, well, let me move this up a little bit. If you connect this high and draw that trend line down, you can see, what do you notice? The price moved up, and as soon as it was able to break out of this resistance, it skyrocketed. If you had these lines on your all-time chart, you would have saw this coming. Now, the WallStreetBets subreddit, of course, contributed to this. But even if you were looking at the chart back in December before this big move happened, you would have saw this coming. Regardless if what WallStreetBets did or not, obviously they made that thing go much higher. But even if they weren't involved in it, you would have saw that it was rising up to break out of this resistance point. I think WallStreetBets is going to target Blackberry, which is already on the rise, but it's not too late yet in my opinion. I did a video on Blackberry kind of saying, let me pull it up right here. Let's go to a shorter time frame. I did a video on Blackberry. Excuse me, I know there's a lot of lines, but I did a video right here, and I said how I thought it was going to come back down off this channel. Let me go to 3 months. Maybe that looks cleaner. Yeah. I said right here I thought it was going to come back and touch off this channel or this support line, but I also said maybe it won't, and it actually didn't. So I need to clarify some things here, but I think WallStreetBets is going to target Nokia, Blackberry, and AMC because if you think about GameStop, besides that, I think they targeted it because it was being shorted, and they were like, yeah, we're not going to let this happen, and they all decided together. They were like, no, which is pretty cool. Like, you guys are sick. That's awesome. I'm all for taking down the system in that regard. But I think Nokia, what do Nokia, GameStop, Blackberry, and AMC all have in common? From my opinion, this is my opinion. When you think of GameStop, you think of probably like 2007, right? I mean, just kind of like, they're just like lingering around. When you think of Blackberry, they're lingering around. AMC, they're lingering around. Nokia, they're lingering around. All companies that had their prime. But if you pull up the chart on them, they're all kind of doing the same thing in which it's looking like they're trying to push up. So I think they're going to target them because they're going to pick up on that. and because of what they did to GameStop, how they're all kind of correlated, meaning they're past their prime, but they're all trying to move up technically. I saw a Yahoo Finance post, like I don't like going to the Yahoo Finance comments because usually it's just a lot of noise and just stuff that it's just so many different opinions, it can confuse you. But occasionally I will look sometimes because sometimes you do find comments that will help you. And I found this one from Christian, so shout out to Christian. In case anyone is unaware, BlackBerry is about to get super pumped by a popular subreddit called WallStreetBets. They pumped GameStop from around $14 earlier this month to over $70 during intraday trading today. They are now claiming BlackBerry as their next meme stock. They are about to make us a lot of money. So that's what he said. And I didn't really go on Reddit and look into it. I just didn't do that because I'm taking Christian's word for it. And also, I'm kind of putting all the pieces together. And I'm looking at more from a technical point of view, right? Rather than going on the subreddit. And honestly, I believe Christian. Like, I'm taking his word for it. If I went on the subreddit and I poked around, I probably would see BlackBerry on there. And maybe Nokia and AMC. I just think that I'm just throwing those in there as my take on it. So let's break it down right here with BlackBerry. If we go to a 5-year chart, as you can see in my last video, I talked about how we were in this downward trading channel. So the fact that we were able to pop out of it was already a sign to buy. And then as you can see, it's making some crazy moves. It has some resistance here at around 1447, which it has not cleared yet. And I think if we go back, I put up more right here at around maybe 16 bucks. If we go to an all-time chart right here, as you can see, the RSI is entering the overbought area. In the past, when I've gone to all-time charts and I've seen that the stock is kind of going upward, I usually like to look at the RSI because if it's entering the overbought area with a lot of strength, it's usually a sign that it's going to want to go up higher, which means the stock price is also going to go up higher. If you look at the MACD on an all-time chart, as you can see, it's crossed over. And in the past, it has not, well, I mean, at least since 2018, you know what I mean? Like, it took a couple of years on an all-time chart for it to do this. And the last time it crossed over, it looks like was back here in October 2012, where it pushed up and made a resistance point. So, listen, man, I did a video a couple of days ago on BlackBerry. I tried to find the support level, but I also said it could probably break out, and that's exactly what it did. It broke out. It didn't come down and touch that support level. So I'm no financial advisor, of course, with any of these stocks I'm about to go down and break down, but get in at your own risk. Personally, me, I just put in a lot of money. Well, excuse me. I shouldn't say that because it's, I don't really think it's a lot of money actually, but so I have 2 different accounts. My Schwab account is for like long holding momentum stocks. And I made a new Webull account. And if you notice, I don't put a Webull link in the description because I don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, you guys don't need to be bombarded with that. So I made a new Webull account, and I think I'm going to be buying BlackBerry, AMC, and Nokia on Webull. I missed the boat on GameStop. I don't know what's going to happen with GameStop. I wish I got in, but I think I'm going to be good with BlackBerry, Nokia, and AMC. So once BlackBerry is able to clear this hurdle, which it hasn't yet. That's why I still think you have time, because as long as you get in below 16, where that other resistance point was, if you go to a 1-year chart or maybe a 5-year, where was it? Right here. If you got to go all the way back, I think it has a lot of room to go upward. Like I said, I don't focus on fundamentals, but they actually do have some catalysts. But I don't care what BlackBerry's doing. I don't care what AMC is doing. I don't care what Nokia is doing. And I know there's some people talking about how Nokia is actually making some strides in 5G. I don't care about that. I focus on price action. That's my strategy. Some people, they watch my videos. I don't think they like the strategy. They don't like technical analysis. That's fine. I'm going to keep doing my thing. It works for me. So if we go over to Nokia, let's break down Nokia. Listen, man, I'm just being straight up honest here. I was not profitable in the markets until I've been doing this for 2.5 years. I was unprofitable for 2.5 years. And then around October-ish, I started changing my strategy and I started really figuring things out with technical analysis, and something flipped. Something just flipped. So I don't have the names memorized, to be honest with you, of what these patterns are called. So if I call it something, because someone was trying to correct me the other day, maybe it is a bull flag. All I know is that it pops out of this little wedge, bull flag, whatever you want to call it. The technical analysis is still the same. So if we analyze Nokia here, as you can see, first of all, the MACD is in an uptrend, so we can put a line right here as well. I didn't do that. You can put trend lines on MACD, so it is in an uptrend. And as you can see, if we connect one line here, connecting these resistance levels with these support levels, you can see that it's kind of getting toward that wedge. This is a similar pattern that Palantir had. Let me pull up Palantir as an example. Palantir. This is a similar pattern that I called on Palantir. As you can see, highs and lows, and then it broke out, and it broke out of that resistance point, and I called that rise. So I think Nokia, it's possible. Whoa, where am I here? What is going on? What was I on, a 5-year chart? Okay. I think it's possible the same thing could happen, but not as fast. But I think I'm going to start buying on some levels of support here. Really no levels in specific. I mean, maybe like at 384 or like $4 even. Right now it's at 420. I think it's pretty safe. It could come down and I will just buy more. I'm really looking into this one. And if we go to an all-time chart right here, you can't really, I mean, maybe we could take a line and do something like this, honestly. So you can see that if we put this, where do I want to put this line? I want to put this line, I think, right here. So even once it breaks out of this wedge, it has to clear this hurdle up here. So say it wants to break out maybe here and then do some, I don't know if it's going to do this, but it would have to then clear a hurdle right there at 785. And also it looks like there's a lot of resistance on Nokia at around like 849. So it does have some hurdles to clear, but I think personally it's safe to start accumulating. I'm not a financial advisor, but I think it's looking safe, and it is kind of like a meme, like Nokia. Like it was like already a meme. Like I remember before I even got into stocks, Nokia was like a big meme because like their phones were like indestructible, and just based off culture, I think like Redditors are gonna like think it's funny to pump it. And actually they, like I said, I don't focus on fundamental analysis, but they actually do have some catalysts with 5G, so it could explain the moves it's making trying to push upward. And if we go to an all-time chart, we can see that there's been an increase in volume as well with this move. As you can see, the RSI is not in that overbought area, so you're still pretty early on this one as opposed to Blackberry, which has risen a lot. So I think Nokia can be like Blackberry in that sense. And then what else didn't I talk about? I didn't talk about AMC, I don't think. So AMC is pretty interesting. We can draw a trend line with this high, this high, this high, and these highs. And as you can see, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. RSI has not entered that overbought area yet, so you're still early, I think. If we go to a 1 year, maybe. I know it looks confusing, but I'll explain it if I can even figure it out. So I'm going to delete a trend line, I think. You guys know about this trend line, so actually maybe I won't delete it. Let me look at this. So there's been some bottom support here, so if you got in like 194, 191, you're a genius. Like literally like awesome. You're like a god. Like awesome. But as you can see, it has had increased volume represented by these bars, very much so increased volume. I drew a resistance trend line here, which it popped out of. I think this is that is that big resistance line that I drew. And as you can see, it also popped out of that. The move I explained here with this trend line was that it was bouncing off it, and then it broke down it, so it was able to come down more. So we don't need that there. I just put that there for reference. So the hurdles AMC has to clear now are right there at around like, it's not picture perfect, 384. And also it has to clear some at 727 if it does want to break up further. So it has to clear some hurdles, but I think that this one has a shot to be like Blackberry. As you can see, the RSI, well, the MACD is in an uptrend too, as you can see. And if we go to an all-time chart, no, maybe not an all-time chart, I don't know where. Yeah, if we go to a 5-year chart, the RSI is in an uptrend, But if we go to an all-time chart right here, the MACD crossed over. So it has momentum from August. Last time it crossed over on an all-time chart was back in 2018. And as you can see, there's just been way more volume. And the RSI is also in an uptrend, not in that overbought area, so I think you're still early on this one. So I'm going to start personally, I'm going to start accumulating some AMC and Nokia. If it doesn't work out, then you know what, man, it doesn't work out. I still don't think I'm not taking a loss on these stocks. So either way, it's going to work out for me. They're just some like speculative strategy plays right now for me. So I'm going to get in these. Blackberry, probably a smaller position in Blackberry because it already arose so much. And probably a much larger position in AMC and Nokia. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So, yeah, I hope this video made sense for those of you who watched it. You know what I mean? Just my opinion. This is my strategy. My strategies have worked out very nicely for me. My portfolio in Schwab has been doing amazing. And if you have a different strategy, you do you then, man. You know what I mean? But I like sharing my strategies with the audience that I'm building. So, yeah, that's what I think's going on with WallStreetBets. That's what I think is going to go on. So, yeah, if you guys liked the video, you can subscribe, leave a like, do whatever you want to do. I made a Discord server, and there's there's 3 people in it, I think, so far, or 4. And we've been talking, we've been having a good time and learning together. So if you guys want to join that, you can join that. You can follow me on Twitter. That's pretty much it, guys. Peace.